Round 1.
Hello, and welcome to my audio music demo reel for the Unity demo project, Tanks, featuring Audiokinetics Wwise for sound integration. The purpose of this presentation is to demonstrate proficiency in the following. 1. The ability to conceptualize and execute on effective planning. 2. The ability to record and synthesize quality sound effects. 3. The ability to integrate those sound effects into Wwise. 4. The ability to take advantage of Wwise's powerful state and switch tools. 5. Understanding the Wwise coding API. 6. The ability to write music in a way that takes advantage of Wwise's interactive music tool. And lastly, 7. The ability to use multiple audio buses to create post-processing effects.
Round 2.
The first step to any project is to hammer out a game plan. In this case, that meant playing around with the game for a while and creating a full asset list of all the sounds and music elements that I could add during development. Note that many of the proposed assets would be cut for various different reasons. Once I had written down all the assets I thought I might need, I compiled them into a giant list and arranged them based upon type, priority, and added any notes I thought I might need later. The firing sound effect was created by combining many different sound assets. The charge sound was created with a simple subtractive synthesizer, while the gunshot itself was a combination of real gunshots, metal percussion, and a bass drum rumble. The reload sound effect was created from my front door's locking mechanism, pitch shifted and processed as needed. The shell thud was created by combining an explosion sound effect, created by team member William Brewer, with the sound of myself punching a medicine ball. The engine sound was a little trickier. The raw audio asset was created by Mr. Brewer, but the integration involved taking the basic engine sound and choosing exactly the right place to loop it. Then, I gave it a real-time parameter control, or RTPC, that tied the speed of the tank to the pitch, volume, and filtration of the sound effect. In essence, this gave the illusion of an engine that was speeding up. I also added a series of voice callouts to tell the round number, as well as announce when one player is 1 point away from victory. These callouts were performed by team member Joseph Alderson and were edited in a way that gave them a cheesy announcer-like feel. I then connected each round callout to a switch container with an additional state to determine whether a player was 1 point away from victory or not. These controllers would determine which round number was called and whether or not it was match point.
Round 1.
Just for fun, I also wanted to add a countdown timer for each round, and while I could have certainly used one of the many synthesizer plugins in my DAW of choice, I chose to create the beeping with Wwise's built-in MIDI tone generator. This is not typically a good idea for most projects, but it was a fun experiment for the purposes of demonstration. For the music, I wanted something simple, whimsical, and also a little bit martial in theme. To that end, I settled on a simple British-style marching tune played by a snare and flute. I then added a second flute to create a countermelody, and created a couple of variations for each instrument. I also created 2 additional themes and countermelodies to add further variety to the music, as well as a brief musical sting to indicate when a player has won. Lastly, I added a bass and cymbal part to each, which was to be used during match point to heighten the tension and signal that a player is close to victory. Once this was complete, I uploaded all of the parts to Wwise and set them to be controlled by the same state and switch groups as we saw earlier. The last thing I did was create multiple audio buses to allow for post-processing. In particular, I wanted the music to reduce in volume when certain sound effects and callouts were playing, so I created multiple new buses, 1 for music and 3 for 3 different kinds of sound effects, depending on how much I wanted them to affect the music. Some sounds, like engine idling and ambient noise, have no effect on music at all, while shooting has a minor effect and voice callouts dramatically reduce the volume of the music.
Round 1.
I hope you enjoyed my audio demo reel for Tanks featuring Audiokinetic's Wwise. This project was a lot of fun and was proof that even small projects can take a lot of work. I will now close out with some gameplay footage so you can get a chance to hear the game for yourself. If you like what you see, you can see more of my work as well as the work of my teammates at onestoneaudio.com or email us at onestoneaudio@gmail.com. Thanks again, and take care.
Round over. Round